Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I saw a story on TikTok. Like this was even posted 4 days ago. So it's a new story. It's a series, the Danish Deception. That's how the lady titled it. So it's a heartbreak story. She was in a relationship for 3 years with a man she thought she was going to marry. Let me not explain to you guys. Let's start it. Well, this is the part one. So we're going to do it all the way to all the parts. So I'll keep it rolling. Let's get it started.
Hello and welcome to a new series that I will be calling the Danish Deception. And throughout this series, I'm going to be going through the details and events that happened throughout my 3-year relationship with a man from Denmark who I truly believed was going to be the love of my life and the father of my children. And I now believe him to be the most despicable, two-faced, narcissistic, evil person I have ever encountered in my entire life. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking that's a very heavy statement to make. Believe me, I mean every single word.
Oh.
I know a lot of you are probably wondering, why are you sharing your life's most intimate and traumatic experience with a sea of strangers? Well, there's a multitude of reasons, but there's 3 big ones. And I'm gonna share with you the first 2 reasons. And the third one,
Okay. I'm just looking at this lady's name. Her name is Oyenka Ehi. That means she's literally from my country. Not just that she's from my country, she's from the eastern part like myself. Onyenka. But the Ehi is sounding like she's from the middle belt. Like the name is a middle belt name. Unless if I'm talking too much. Let's continue.
I'm going to wait and share with you at the end of the series because I don't want to give anything away. But the first reason is that this is my way of telling the world that love is a powerful, powerful drug. And if you're someone that's knowingly or unknowingly in an unhealthy or toxic relationship, I want you to know that love is a powerful drug and it clouds our judgment and it makes us think in ways we wouldn't think otherwise. And if you're someone that's also trusted the wrong person, you're not alone and you need to give yourself grace and compassion because it happens every day.
True.
The second reason is that this is my way of protecting others, and whether it be someone that might encounter my ex, or let's be real, there's some horrible people in this world. I want to protect other people from going through what I went through. And if there's one person that can watch these videos and see some signs in their relationship that they didn't see before, and they can remove themselves before too much damage is caused, then it's 100% worth it for me to do what I'm doing.
I just needed to say this, that it's becoming so scary how people are beginning to compare themselves. Of course, I know that what she's doing is good, but the thing is that some people don't even know when to draw the line that, okay, that the fact that it happened to this person doesn't mean it has to happen with me. I don't have to start, scrutinizing every action, my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my wife or my husband does. But that's becoming, like, I don't even know the word, but I guess you guys get what I mean. Yeah, so we need to be careful. In as much as we're watching this show, we need to be careful not to start projecting them into our own private lives, because everything doesn't have to happen to everybody.
What you guys are about to hear is going to be one of the most beautiful love stories you've ever heard in your entire life. And for that reason, I need to make sure you guys all prepare yourselves because it's going to take a very drastic turn. And this is going to be one of the most insane roller coaster of emotions that you guys have been on. And if you were a fan of the Who the Fuck Did I Marry series, unfortunately, the story you're about to hear is significantly worse, and it pains me to say that.
Hold on. A story that is worse than Legion. Hey! Okay, now I'm invested.
This next part, I'm actually going to channel my inner Risa Tisa because I loved the way she did her introduction and disclaimer video. Everything you're about to hear is the truth and can be verified by multiple people in my life. And wow. I actually have a folder in my phone that's labeled evidence, and it can support probably 80% of the things I'm going to say throughout this series. So if my ex or anyone else wants to come forward and say I'm fabricating any of this, I will be more than happy to release the receipts to the world. I'm going to tell the truth, even if it makes me look bad. And there's going to be times that you guys are going to be looking at me crazy. And refer to reason number 1, love is a powerful drug. I'm going to be using a mixture of aliases and real names because I don't have everyone's permission to use their names, and my priority is remaining respectful to everyone that was involved, everyone except for my ex. And in case you guys are wondering, I'm going to be referring to him as my ex throughout this series, mainly because I feel like if I say his name every day this frequently, it's going to cause me to become physically ill, and I do not want that.
Wow.
I don't know how many parts this is going to be, but I know it's not going to be 52 because I don't have the patience for that. But I will try to get these out as quickly as I can. I'm a real estate agent, so my careers can be very demanding unexpectedly at times, but I will try to get these parts out as quickly as I possibly can. I come from a beautiful, strong Nigerian family that was built on deep respect and unbreakable support.
Didn't I say that her name already is given Nigeria, but there's no contention. Her name is eastern part of Nigeria to even start with.
And we have never experienced trauma at this magnitude. So this situation completely rocked us to our core, but I truly believe that we will come out of this stronger than ever. And I just wanted to take a moment to just thank my friends and family for giving me the courage and the strength to be able to come forward and share my story, because I feel so much love from the people around me, and I wouldn't be able to do this without them. And I really just wanted to end this video with a message directly to my ex. And frankly, I don't think he's going to be watching this because he's a coward. But in the event that he is, this message is for you.
This is serious.
You have lived a life where you've hurt so many people and you've created damage in the lives of many, and no one has ever truly held you accountable for your actions. I was silent for a very long time, and that silence only benefited you and it never benefited me. And I'm sharing my story for my healing, for my strength, and for my growth. And you might not believe this, but this is not about revenge. This is about protecting others and reclaiming my power, because I survived a story that I never asked to be a part of. And I'm gonna tell it with honesty, intention, and power, because my voice will no longer be minimized. So you guys, welcome.
Let's go to the
to the Danish Deception, and it's time to get this thing started. So let's head on over to part 1.
Let's head to part 1.
The Danish Deception, part 1. Okay, so it all started in June of 2022. I was in a place in my life where I was working 2 jobs. I was working like a dog, and I knew I needed a break. So I reached out to my friend Sarah, who was living in Germany at the time with her husband, and I said, let's take a trip. Let's go somewhere in Europe. And she was so down, and we were trying to decide where we wanted to go. And we decided to go to Hvar, Croatia, because we wanted somewhere that was like a cute local town that was by the water, but it wouldn't be as crazy busy as other places in Europe. And so we decided to go to Hvar. We flew to Split first, met there, took a ferry over. And at first I was just so amazed at how beautiful this place was. And so the first night, I was a little bit jet lagged, so we kept it very chill, grabbed dinner, then went back to our Airbnb. And the next morning when we woke up, we had literally 2 things on our agenda, and that was to eat and drink and be by the water. And well, I guess that's 3 things, but yeah, eat, drink, and be by the water. So we went to Hula Hula, which if you've been to Hvar, you've been to Hula Hula. It's this beach club that's very well known there, and it's right on the water. And we're laying in day beds kind of off to the side, minding our own business, sipping mojitos. And I look up and I see this very attractive man. And the first thing that came to my mind was, this man looks like he is walking straight out of a Calvin Klein ad. And I'm telling you guys, 6'3", blonde hair, blue eyes, chiseled skin, so tan, muscles everywhere. I I was definitely taken aback. And I feel like it takes a lot for me to really double take a man just based on his looks like that. And 100%, I was a little bit just in awe. I didn't even realize that he was like with a friend at first. And so I'm still minding my own business, keeping it chill. And he looks over at me and he says, "How are the drinks?" And I said, "The drinks are wonderful. We're just sipping mojitos." He said, "Should I get us all around?" And I said, "Absolutely. Number one, he's cute. Number two, who wouldn't want a free mojito?" So I said yes. We got a round of drinks and we're sipping our drinks and we just start small talking. And I asked them where they're from and they say that they're both from Denmark. My ex was living in Copenhagen, and then his friend was living in a smaller town called Aalborg, which is north of Copenhagen, and that was actually my ex's hometown, that his friend was still living there. And so we were just small talking the whole time. We didn't really talk about a whole lot of things. It was just like, "Where are you from?" and just basic things. But they were asking us, "What's your plan for the rest of the trip?" And we told them, we're doing a full day boat excursion tomorrow, and then we're going to dinner tonight at this place called Dalmatino. And he said, "Oh, how's the dinner spot?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I got recommended by a friend to go there." And he was like, "Okay, well, maybe we'll meet up with you guys again later." And I said, "Sure." So we're getting a little bit tired, so we decided that it's time for us to leave. And so as we're leaving, I decide to make a bold move and just ask him for his Instagram. And obviously I'm trying to be a little sly, so I asked him and his friend for their Instagrams, and we exchange Instagrams. We get into our taxi to go back to our Airbnb, and we're literally en route to our Airbnb, and I get a DM from him, and he basically said, "It was so nice meeting you. Have fun at Dalmatino. Maybe we'll see you guys later." Didn't read anything into it. I just was like, it was fun to just have a conversation with a cute guy. And so we go back to our Airbnb, we get dressed, we get ready for dinner, and we're like on our way to dinner, and he is like messaging me about the restaurant and asking us details about it. I didn't like think anything of it. But we sit down, we're having dinner, we have a spectacular dinner, and we're finishing off the evening with our desserts, AKA espresso martinis. And I'm sipping my drink and I look up and I see him and his friend at the restaurant. And they walk up over to us and I'm like, "Oh, hey." He's like, "Yeah, like they're a little booked up, but they said they can like seat us in like 20 minutes. I was like, "Oh, cool. Well, we're about to be done, but we'll go grab a drink. Maybe we can like meet up later." And he said, "Okay, sounds good." So it's kind of awkward timing because we were finishing up dinner while they like hadn't even been sat yet. And so we went to a bar across the street and we were grabbing drinks, and I hit a wall, and I was like, "Okay, now I need to go to sleep." And I was super jet lagged. And so I sent him a DM just basically saying, "Hey, we are so tired. We have a full boat excursion tomorrow. I don't think we're going to stay out much later." And he was like, "That's totally fine." And so the next day we wake up, we get on the boat, and I start obviously posting like all my cute photos. Like, remember I took a photo driving the boat, and like we were just, having fun. And I was like looking at my Instagram story, and I see he's like hearting every single story, and like he's responded to a couple of them. I am not the type of person that reads very much into activity on social media like that. But
For a guy to be following you like he was so invested, that is him telling you that, "Oh, I'm interested in you," even without saying it in different ways. Unless I'm the one really meaning into it. So there are social cues that once anybody starts doing on Instagram, not even just Instagram, on social media, especially if it's a man, that the man is interested. He's not just watching silently. He's letting you know that he's seeing what you're posting. And besides, he's in the same location as you. Not to before, maybe he immediately saw her and her approaching him. He saw a prey that he could pry on, and he started to act out his plans immediately. Never can tell.
it was something that I noticed. And so, we continued on with that for like a day and a half. And then he reaches out to me and he says, "Hey, like, what are you guys doing?" And at this time, it is our last night in Havar. And he said, "What are you guys doing tonight?" And I said, "We don't really have plans because we didn't." And he said, "Well, do you guys want to come to dinner with us?" And me and my friend were like, "Absolutely, sure." And she wasn't really down to go. I kind of forced her because I was like, this guy's hot and it's a free dinner. Like, let's just go. It'll be fun.
I'm already seeing the way it must have gone. You know how girls can be. one doesn't want to go. He said, please, I don't want to. You know, this guy is handsome. I can't remember the last time I was with a handsome guy. I have to go. You don't know if this is going to be my husband. Don't you want to be my best chief bridesmaid? You guys know how it goes. So I can already imagine how it went out.
And so she's a good friend, so she came with me, and we get to the restaurant, and him and his friend are sitting across from each other. So obviously I took the seat next to him. I was sitting across from my friend, and we're sitting there, we're having a wonderful dinner and drinking tons of wine. And I come up with this idea to play this game where I'm asking his best friend to describe what my ex's type was. And because we were obviously like vibing with each other, and
You say, hey, no, you were very, very forward, my sister. Ha ha ha.
I was just curious. And so his best friend starts listing off everything, like good morals, hard worker, all these things. And like, I felt like he was describing me. And after his friend was done talking, my best friend basically said, you know, aside from being a good cook, she checks off every single box. And I remember I looked at him, my ex, and I said, but I will become a great cook for a good man. And
Guys, what if they went through her Instagram? Because not the way you post have this way of, saying who you are. What if they went through her post and she just fell into their plan? What if? What do you guys think?
he starts laughing. I remember I put my hand on his leg, and that was the first time in my life that I felt that instant electricity from someone's touch. Like, it literally felt like I was getting shocked. And we instantly like had this physical attraction towards each other. And we started talking about what we did for work. And I told him that I was working as a real estate agent and in tech. And then he told me, he's like, I'm actually chief commercial officer for a ad tech company that does marketing for real estate companies. So I was working in real estate and tech, and he was working in real estate and tech, and everything just like felt like it was aligning. But again, I'm like, this guy lives in Copenhagen. There's nothing that's going to come from this. So after dinner, we go and grab some drinks at a bar nearby, and we grabbed one drink, and they're definitely gearing up to go back out. And it was our last night, and my friend really did not want to go out. And I am not the type of a girl to ever leave my friend for a man, never in a million years. So I ended up just saying, hey, I think we're going to call it a night and we're going to head out. And he was respectful of that 100%. And I remember we just hugged goodbye and we left, and that was it. And so we're going back to our Airbnb. We're walking home, and I get a DM from him, and he said, it was so nice meeting you. I hope it's not the last time. Also, South Africa is happening. I can see it. And the reason why he said that was because I was telling him that I had wanted to go to South Africa for that following Christmas, and because my family was going to be traveling. And he said, I've always dreamt of going to South Africa. And I jokingly was like, well, you're invited if you want to come. And so whenever he made that comment to me in the DM, I was like, okay, sure. I am not thinking anything of it, right? At this point, whatever, like, this guy lives 5,000 miles away from me. I'm not thinking anything of it. So the next day, my friend goes back to Germany, and I go to Barcelona to meet up with some friends. And again, I'm like posting throughout my trip, and every time I look at my phone, it's like he's DMing me, messaging me, and he's continuing all of this. And I'm just a little bit shocked, but also like very interested still at the same time. And he was remembering things that I told him at dinner. Like, I had told him that I was going to buy a Chanel bag because I wanted to reward myself for working hard. And he had messaged me and been like, hey, did you get your Chanel bag? And I was literally like drunk off sangrias in my bikini and cover up in the Chanel store when I got that DM. And I sent him a selfie, and he said, this is the best photo I've ever seen. And I just like felt like I could just be myself with him already. And, we were just getting along and having good conversation. So again, he doesn't even have my phone number at this point. We were literally just flirting through DMs. So I end up leaving Barcelona the next day, and I land, and he sends me a message, and he said, what are you doing this weekend? Do you want to go to Ibiza? And I saw the message, and I was like, what? And we will continue in part 2.
Ibiza. I call it Ibiza. Is it Ibiza or Ibiza? American. So please help me in the comment section. Is it Ibiza or Ibiza? I've been calling it Ibiza all this while. Ooh. But on a more serious note, like my heart breaks for this lady. My heart breaks for her. Just imagine you thinking that you found the one, you found someone that, oh, this is it, this is gonna be it, and you pour your whole essence into the relationship, thinking that, oh, you finally arrived, not knowing that this person came with a plan, that you were just, you know, part of his plan, that he didn't actually like you. Or maybe the man liked her, maybe something went wrong, or I think we get to hear that when we watch as we watch. So guys, see you in part 2. I don't want to make the video so long so I become cumbersome. So watch it as she's uploaded. That's how I'll be doing it. So see you in part 2. Just in case I don't have the strength to finish all the videos today. So let me break them up. See you in part 2.